Well, where's Einstein?
Right in the middle.
Okay. I'm thinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. I'm not sure what that means. Look at this, huh? Fight back. Where's the 9/11 one? There you go. Investigate 9/11.
On May 17th, 2008, we set out with our colleague Tom, that's him right there, and attended a research symposium in New Hampshire. The night before, I had covered an event where an architect was presenting evidence at MIT, trying to disprove that World Trade Center 7 fell from fire. Well, I sat there through the 3-hour presentation, and this is all I needed to see.
Well, I believe that we may have supported the hypothesis for controlled demolition, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Let's see what you think, though. First of all, and be honest here, how many of us believe that the building was brought down by fire? Real high, I want to see. Is there anybody? How many of you believe that the buildings were brought down by controlled demolition? A lot of you. Okay.
I actually have a, do you know who the Missile Dig Chicks are?
No.
And we quickly established that looks can be deceiving, in a good way.
Really?
And of course he's doing it to all of us all the time through his
Well, sure, of course.
These people clearly had heart and were taking action to take back their country and resuscitate their community, doing anything and everything to get the word out.
It's okay, I'm not that fragile.
These shirts are funny, and that's what people have to do, because until you can laugh at it, you're really powerless.
My name is Watt.
And to get people to pay attention.
And this is my slightly edited version of a famous quote by Hermann Goering during the Nuremberg trials.
I remember this, yeah. Yeah.
Did you know who?
I read the longer version of it, of the testimony.
Well, translated German.
Because he refused to testify unless they wouldn't give him a time limit, right? That was his big thing. He had to testify for so long.
He was a heroin addict.
He refused.
Nothing at all like a group of conspiracy theorists, but rather civic leaders and everyday people who are concerned about their country and the welfare of their families. And I have to admit, I was resonating with their concerns after all. Just because I voted for Bush in 2000 doesn't make me immune to the inflation of gas, food, and the necessities of life. In covering the symposium, we expected to take some video of the speakers, maybe get a few interviews, but it never occurred to me that they would turn the cameras on us and ask me some questions, the answers to which just might surprise you. What you're about to see is unplanned, unscripted, and most importantly, uncensored. And the reason you didn't see it first on TV is because it's simply more profitable to pretend that these perspectives don't exist.
About my camera, sometimes it turns everything yellow.
You look good.
It's not about looking good. I only got so much to work with. Who's that? You're the only one who asked some questions?
Yeah. So, are you ready? You good? Yeah, go for it. I got him many times. I'm just gonna start with what do you do? Why don't you tell us what you do, what you did, and what brought you to the information you came across?
All right. What I do now is I pay attention to the information I'm given. I think critically. These are the lessons I've learned. What I try to do is reflect back to the audiences that entertain my communication. I try to reflect back those things that I see missing from corporate media, and in that, kind of picking up the slack, because Americans, well, as a result of TV, people have forgotten to think critically. They think they know, and therefore you don't look at something critically, you rely on your belief. So what I used to do was I relied on my belief and my education and my social, cultural upbringing, and in that realm, Well, it's about the money. You know, the measure of success is to see how much money you can make and how many toys you can buy and how flamboyant. You know, look at MTV and Viacom shows like Cribs. How healthy is that for young people to watch and think, oh, it's all about the bling? What people are feeling today are real things that haven't been presented to us, haven't been spoon-fed by corporations. It's about what we're not being told instead of consuming the Anna Nicole Smith and the John Edwards $400 haircut and all these things that if you had a list of all the information available in the world, that you would never choose these things to put on your TV or inform yourself about. So it's only because we are in a passive reactive mode and consuming and inundating ourselves in corporate media that has made America apathetic. Now, I was one of those people because I was conditioned, you know, as I said, to go out and want to achieve a certain status and drive a certain car and live in a certain type of house. And when you figure out that those aren't necessarily your dreams, because there's a lot of people going after those dreams, there's a lot of competition, and as a result of that competition, a lot of people get screwed. And there always seems to be this group of people up here who are impervious, insulated, isolated from all the competition that goes on down here, almost like they fund both sides of the competition and therefore profit more because of the conflicts. So in my personal life, my professional life, I had no idea what was going on in the world. I voted for George Bush in 2000. I thought it was the right thing to do. I thought he supported my views. I thought that the beliefs that he espoused in the presidential campaign reflected what I felt, you know? And I think a lot of people felt that way because we were conditioned through television and media and censorship and suppression of certain viewpoints that would prevent logical, reasonable people from backing somebody like that. But when you take away this whole data set that gives you, you know, the other side of what's not being presented, people were left unwittingly and unwillingly at the hands of corporations, corporate media.
This is where the corporation didn't back us up. They knew we were under extreme attack from partisan political elements and deeply ideological people. There were other people who genuinely thought we were wrong in doing it. Where we were vulnerable is that we couldn't demonstrate to everybody's satisfaction the documents what they so note in that what we didn't say what the story reports isn't true because it was true. Now, on the apology, that I played team, I'm accountable for that. And I understand when somebody says, well, wait a minute, you know, at the time you apologize. For two things. I played team. I worked at CBS for 44 years. I believed in the tradition, believed in the mystique, believed in the people. And I think
when you consider that almost everything everyone around you has ever consumed was produced by a corporation for the explicit purpose of profit, right? A corporation's only law of governance, its only motivation, its only mandate is to return profit to shareholders. It's not to keep you safe. It's not to inform you. It's not to help you feel and realize your life's dreams. They're there to profit, and the Roman maxim is, let he who would be deceived, right? And so when they're deceiving you every day, and you can kind of smell it, you can smell it at the gas pump, you can smell it at the grocery store, you can smell there's something going on. There's all these people dying in Iraq, and they're not showing us the bodies of troops coming back, and people feel it, but they all feel isolated. They can't put a name on it yet, but they're starting to talk to each other at the gas pumps instead of just